Yes.
And ADD is a challenge like that all the time. Some things if we're made this way, you just can't do anything about it. You have to learn to live with it. And the best thing that I've ever learned is if you fall, you got to get back up. And you get really good at that when you have ADHD.
Welcome to the Well with Cannabis podcast, a show dedicated to telling the life-changing stories of those who live well with cannabis, all while teaching you how to do the same. Meet your host, Emily Kyle, a registered dietitian nutritionist turned certified holistic cannabis practitioner. Emily changed her life for the better with the help of the cannabis plant, and now she is committed to helping others do the same. Tune in each week to hear heartwarming stories and gain the knowledge you need to feel connected, inspired, and supported on your own cannabis journey. Whether you're a new cannabis consumer or a lifetime lover, you'll benefit from these uplifting tales of real-life journeys that will show you how you too can live your best life well with cannabis.
Before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to share a note on potentially sensitive content. The episodes on the Well with Cannabis podcast are created for adult audiences only. We will at times cover sensitive topics including, but not limited to, suicide, abuse, mental illness, sex, drugs, alcohol, psychedelics, and the obvious use of plant medicine. Explicit language may be used occasionally. Please refrain from watching or listening to the show if you're likely to be offended or adversely impacted by any of these topics. The information on this show is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice. If any of the content on this podcast has brought up anything for you, please reach out or speak to a professional or someone you trust. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Well with Cannabis podcast. And I am here today with our special guest, Missy Conley. Missy, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm so excited. You have had quite the experience with cannabis, and I'm really eager to just get into it. Your story. How did cannabis end up in your life?
Oh gosh. I mean, I think it came in, the way it does for a lot of people. It came in like, dabbling in it in my teen years and such. And it kind of just became over the years like a way to comfort myself and think for myself. So that's kind of how, I
love that you just said think for yourself, because for cannabis, for so many of us, it just gives us like this clarity and this insight into like our own selves. And for a lot of women, it's just such a comforting that we didn't really realize cannabis would give us. We normally think of cannabis for pain relief and anxiety, but it's those little like special aspects of it that I love highlighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
So you said you were having panic attacks, and if you're okay with it, I'd love to talk a little bit about that and what's happened with that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, basically, I'll just kind of give you a little backstory. Like you said about cannabis kind of popping in and out of my life. That's how it started. And then I was having trouble in my marriage, I guess is where we should go. And I had some girls at work that were like, hey, come over, you can hang out with us. And I was kind of isolated, just kind of a bad guy, just me and him. And then these girls, we started hanging out and we started having all this fun. And it was like experiencing cannabis in a different way, because it had been in negative context that I've experienced it before. But this was like really therapeutic. So I ended up getting shipped an Instacart, and I took a 2-week vacation from the warehouses I was working in, and I found out I could make better money. Well, that ended up being my ticket to leave my husband, and I had these girls by my side, so they were supporting me through it, and I was living in like Airbnbs and stuff like that. And I was still having a lot of panic and stuff during the day while I was doing groceries, because I was all by myself. And then it was the pandemic and very stressed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I ended up using cannabis during that time, during the time I was doing the grocery delivery, because I could think more clearly while I was driving and focus better when I was doing that. And it would take like the shakes away from me,
Yeah.
And I remember this one time specifically, I had my first panic attack in a grocery store in the line, because the woman behind me was like visibly in a hurry, and that threw me into my first panic attack, because I was already nervous from being on my own. And I was just
Yeah.
scared, and it just triggered it. And I was like, I couldn't breathe. I had to sit down, and the woman passed me and she didn't even acknowledge me. And I'm like, wow, people really aren't aware of like mental health
Yeah.
issues. I just had
Yeah.
that happen right in public. But, you know, as I made my way to Texas, which is a whole nother story,
Yeah.
from Ohio, I used cannabis until I got to like Arkansas. And then something in me like threw my stuff out. And I said, oh, okay, Texas is like no tolerance. That's why.
Yeah.
And I got down here and I started using Delta 8, and that's assisted me the whole way with anxiety, and I was punishing myself because I'm like, this feels like it's wrong, even though it's legal, because
Yeah.
I didn't want to get in trouble, so I started using
Yeah.
like Delta 8, and that has helped me. If I didn't have that, I mean, no doctors will give you anything to like settle your nerves. And I don't want it
Right.
anyways, because I'm a prior addict. So using cannabis and Delta 8 have served the purpose of keeping my nervous system calm so I
Yeah.
can think inside.
It's
So,
beautiful. I'm so happy
mhm.
that you found something that works for you. I can't imagine going from Ohio to Texas. Texas is not cannabis friendly. I'm really
Mm-mm.
so sad about it. I'm glad that you have something at least that can help take the edge off a little bit. How has it
Mhm.
been moving to Texas and using cannabis? I know you say you're using the Delta 8. Do you find the
Mhm.
culture is different? Are people nice, not nice? How is it?
Oh, the culture, I think in Ohio, I attracted those same people, and I have like a group of those same people here.
Oh,
It kind of started rebuilding itself. I have a couple friends that partake regardless, and sometimes we'll hang on the beach and we'll do
yeah,
that, and I'll meditate and everything will seem right. I use it
yeah.
for meditation a lot because I feel like I can hear what I would refer to as guidance clearer.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So it's funny. I was talking with another guest for the show. The episode, someone might already be listening to it after this airs, but she is
Mhm.
a tarot reader, and she was just talking about how cannabis has brought her such clarity and in this intuition, this ability to listen to her inner voice. I would love for you to
Mhm.
elaborate a little bit on how that works for you,
Oh my
because
gosh.
we don't talk about it a lot, but I'm finding everyone is having this very spiritual experience with cannabis.
Yes, that's so insane that you said that, because I have read cards since 2002,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I just laid them down like maybe not even 6 months ago, because I'm working into, they're not in here, but my tuning forks. I do tuning forks and
Yep.
energy work. And I have seen some crazy, that's a different podcast too, but amazing results with prayer and energy work. But starting out cannabis, I'll tell you that part, that's what cracked me open back in 2002. I was an addict back then. So I was doing stimulant and cannabis at the same time. I also entered myself into recovery just to give myself credit,
Oh
and
my
I got
gosh. We're
out of
all
that.
going to give you credit where credit is
Yeah,
due. Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. But so back then, I we were having people over. I was in hair school, and we just started playing with crystals and the cards and things, and a pattern developed that I was really good at that. And so we started dabbling with those things, and people were like, "Do a reading for me, do a reading for me." And that's when I could okay, let me just say it bluntly. When I'm smoking the real thing and I'm sitting down with somebody, you might as well call your grandma up, because I can hear her. Like, it makes mediumship very easy for me. So, but I think that's why I laid the cards down, is I want to make sure I'm doing the right kind of work.
Mhm.
And this seems like a more positive way to use gifts. Now, I think everyone's gifted. They just have to discover it. And that's what happened to me
I'm
and
so
then,
excited for you.
yeah,
That
and
is
cannabis
amazing.
connected me back to my intuition, because I always tell everyone, I was like, I know I have an intuition and it works, because from Ohio to Texas, that's what I went on.
Yeah.
It's insane, because I'm wanting my book to drop. I've got parts of it and a book proposal started, but I want it to drop on my birthday, because I really have a profound story to tell
Yeah.
people about all of this.
Oh,
So it's like super cool. I'm like, I want to help millions of people change their paradigm after they read my
yes.
book.
Oh my gosh. I
And
feel like
cannabis plays a huge part.
it does. And I just feel like everybody who's gotten the chance to experience it now, just like you with your book, want to go out and tell the world, like shout it from the rooftops. Cannabis is not what you were led to believe. It is
Mhm.
this beautiful, magical plant that can
It is.
enhance every aspect of our lives. It's so amazing.
Yeah. And cannabis is so wonderful. Like when I sit down and, I'm really in the zone and I can put my fingers above the keys and they will just type. I
Flow.
mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing what has opened up to me since I've, began using it. And I wouldn't tell anybody to overuse it and
Yep.
definitely be careful with edibles. But it at some point it can help you open up to your psychic abilities. So
That is amazing and so
Mhm.
interesting for so many people because so many people just think cannabis is just for getting high. When so many people
Mhm.
think cannabis is maybe, for pain relief or anxiety relief, they don't realize these other gifts that come along with it. And so I'm
Mhm.
so glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, that's really cool. But I think it's opening up different parts of your brain maybe, or
Yeah. Yep.
and you combine that with meditation and you'll start receiving these beautiful thoughts and then we'll be like, is that really real? And do I trust that? And when you're forced into the situation where you trust it, you just go with it. And that's how I learned to trust it is, I'm like, oh, well, I came to your website just to learn how to make canna butter better,
Oh,
but use it for Delta 8 products. So I could
yeah.
do that here and help people in that way. But and they definitely work. Don't think that they don't because
Yeah. Good.
they
Oh
do.
my gosh. It's so amazing though. Like you Googled canna butter, you found me. We're here today.
Yes,
We're singing the praises of the plant. Like it's so
it was meant to
special.
happen.
It's yes, absolutely. And I feel like for a lot of people, cannabis gives them that clarity and their ability to follow their path, like their true
Mhm.
path, not the path that society lays out for them, but their actual true path. And going back to intuition, it's
Mhm.
like it's full circle and it's very special.
Yeah. And I kind of, not to throw anything too big in there, but I kind of think that there's a bigger power that we can connect to. The bigger part
Yes.
of us is not with us. It's,
Yep.
still in the spirit world. So I think it's kind of like that movie Lucy. You see the cords coming down. I think we all have that connection with the divine. And when we say help, if we ask for help, which they can't until we say, come help, like free
Yes.
will,
Yeah.
once we ask for their help, they will come and surround us and guide us. If it's our fault for not listening, though, if we don't listen. But I tell you, it
Yes.
pays off in spades because when I made that decision and I was so scared um, to leave Goshen and I packed my car and put everything I could into it that day. And I slammed the trunk and I had $300 in my pocket and I left. And I was like, that was my intuition saying, you don't belong in this toxic environment anymore. You're too good for this. I don't care how scared you are, you're done because everyone will reach that point. And then I think I set myself free that day, literally, because he didn't agree with cannabis. Even
Oh,
in Ohio had medical card, and
yeah.
he still said, I don't want you doing that in the house. And I said, well, we can't coexist together because I think cannabis would have made me tolerate him and I would have still been there, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
I didn't do it in the house. I just did it with my friends. I would go over there for relief and, girl time and stuff. And eventually you get empowered with what you should be anyways. You should be free to do what you want, have your own thought.
Yeah.
He was putting thoughts into my head a lot, my ex. So I think we call
It's
that gaslight.
amazing that you were able to leave. I'm so proud of you. I cannot
Thank you.
imagine how scary that must have been, how
It was
terrifying.
scary.
Oh, but I mean, look at you now. You're
I
in a
know.
new life, you're in a new space. It's
And
incredible.
I live by the beach because I put that on
Oh,
my vision board. I did a big vision board in Ohio. And I guess the universe said she needs that the most because I spun out and all these events happened and I ended up, Galveston, Texas found me. It's an island. I didn't know Galveston was an island,
I
first of
didn't
all.
either.
And so it's this beautiful community with this little historical area with all these little shops. And that's one of my jobs is a fair trade job where,
Yeah.
I tell people and educate them about giving back to, things and stuff. And you can see how dumbed down we are from living in the United States, that these people that are don't have water in Uganda are making things so they can get, it's like we should be a lot more grateful because we're so blessed to have been born in this country.
Yes.
So, but this little community has been also helping me. They've been someone I put out to the universe. I want more clothes because I had no clothes. Like, literally wearing clothes I still wore in Ohio 2 years ago. And this woman came and she's like, the boss next door got sick. She ended up working on a different day. She took me to her house and gave me a whole bunch of new clothes. I mean, I'm like,
so sweet.
and when you're at the bottom, rebuilding, that she's an angel. These people will show up to help you if you choose to be brave and choose your worth. Like, leave. God will send you, universe, whoever will send you guidance and people to help you if you're stuck in a situation. You know what I mean? You can leave and know that you will be helped along the way, because I saw evidence the whole 2 years, and that's why my spirituality has really flip-flopped. But my goal is to have a shop similar to hers and do the fair trades thing so I can start giving back, since I was helped along my way. So I'm like, that's what it's about, is changing yourself one person. If we all do our little job, we can help fix, the government's not going to help us. So
no.
we have
Oh
to
my
do
gosh, that is so beautiful. Tell me a little bit about your beach house. I'm just interested because to make a vision board and then like see it to fruition.
Well, it's not a beach house.
Well, either way, you're by the beach.
Yes.
Yes, but doesn't being by the beach is all you need. So I have a house in Florida by the beach, not on the beach. It doesn't matter. It's by the beach.
Mm-hmm. And it's salty air and it's sea fog in the morning. And every day I crave going out to the beach to see that. It puts you in a state of awe. Like, you're again small and there's something bigger than you that can assist, and you could go out to the beach and just feel replenished. There's something about that. And, this came from, I think the universe is trying to fulfill our wishes one at a time. And I had put up on that, wall that I wanted to live at the beach because my parents brought me to Florida when I was a kid. And those are the memories, the good memories, because we had a lot of bad memories, but those really good memories were ones that were so strong. I wanted to live by the beach because of those memories, and so I think your deepest wishes are what the universe wants to grant for you. And when I put that on a vision board, and the one thing that changed it too, and I finally gave in and I said, I put like 2 people holding hands, I'm walking along the beach, and I said, I want a loving relationship, and even if it's not Brian. And that was the crack that I needed, because I wasn't supposed to be there and I wasn't letting go. And things swung into motion. And in April, I left him and I never looked back. And these course of events happened. I ended up in Houston for a year and a half doing Instacart and ship all around Houston. And that made me really strong. And I started going to Lakewood Church, even though this is another whisper from like 2 years ago. I was in the middle of all this negativity, watching my laptop in the bedroom, and here's Joel Osteen giving all this positivity out, and I'm like, I think he's teaching manifestation, but just in a Christian type of way. He's telling people to speak things into existence and all this stuff. So I was like, I wish I could go to that church. That church would be cool. I did 3 Instacarts. My 3rd Instacart around Lakewood, I'm like, I think I'm supposed to go to that church, because I didn't even know Lakewood was in Houston. So it was insane. I was like, the course of things that happened was so very.
How was your first time going? I'm interested.
Well, see, my family was Pentecostal. They went sometimes to a Pentecostal, so they raised the Holy Spirit in the church a lot. And that's how it felt in there, even though we didn't have to, it was very tingly. And, you go into someplace dark, you can feel it's very dense and pressure filled. Well, this is like so light, it's almost tingly on your skin, this big. And of course, everything's bigger in Texas. So the church is enormous. It's the Compact Center, the old Compact Center. And the Rockets won championships there. So this is loaded with all this positive energy, And it was just absolutely, I sit there and cried for the first year that we went. And then we move over here and we watch it online now, just for, you don't have to look into, if you're not into God, just listen to the positive parts. I replaced the word God with universe, if that worries you. And that's all you have to do. And I received all of that positive, and I just cried all this negative out. And it was such a a beautiful time in my life that I got, I said, every whisper is heard, man. I was sitting there like, I go to that church and it happened. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I manifested back in Ohio. I did my crazy manifestations. I got my Kia Soul. And then when me and my husband, I swear, I think he cursed me when he like, I wish that, didn't have that car. She wouldn't have income, and I wrecked my Kia. And it was, yeah, I think we have the power to do those things, to speak bad things to, especially when you have a lot of emotion around it.
Yeah.
But,
I was talking to another woman who said that cannabis gives her the ability to feel so much more compassion and empathy for other people. And that sounds a lot like what you're saying. Do you experience that as well?
Yeah, I was like that from when I was a kid anyway. Yeah. And this just makes me like, okay, well, I had a bully for a while down here. And I ended up praying for that person instead of, fighting back or, I was like, my friend said they might be going through something that makes them really angry, and I was like, okay, well, I'll pray for him then. And then it just stopped. And I'm like, Michelle Obama says, when they go low, you go high. And it works. It works every time.
I don't know if Michelle Obama would be happy with me incorporating cannabis into that, but I mean, when they go low, we go high. And honestly, using cannabis makes it so much easier to not tolerate, but navigate those difficulties in life. It's like a steadfast companion, if you will.
Right. And I think it is a form of medicine, and that, I found that out when I started like, should I go get my vape? Should I go get my gummies? And then I was like, of course you should. Your consciousness is your most important state of being. If I'm a nervous wreck, I'm not going to do any good at work. I just, I think it calms my nervous system and it de-stresses me. There's different strains for like going to work. You'd want to do a sativa, or a hybrid. You don't want to go do an indica before you go to work. You'd be like, no. Yeah. So, there's smart ways to learn about cannabis. And then there's always going to be those people who want to sink into the couch, but then people are finding better ways and microdosing with it and stuff. I started with microdosing, just with a little one hitter, and that's all I needed to be able to get through laundry and dishes,
Yes.
So.
We don't talk about it nearly enough, but I am like, cannabis is the savior of all chores. All chores suck until cannabis comes along. And then you're like, I can absolutely clean that sink full of dishes. I will mop that floor, and I might even dance while I'm doing it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit more about your meditation practice, because I find that when people use cannabis, they become more open to other natural practices, whether it be yoga or exercise or eating healthy. Talk a little bit about your meditation and how that fits into your life.
Well, I have to say first of all, it's inconsistent, but I find that when I do the guided meditations, I have a lot more luck, and, you can actually engage in the words as long as I'm sitting up, because, well, I was diagnosed ADHD, and we tend to be in that alpha brainwave all the time, kind of daydreaming anyway. That's why you can't get us to pay any attention, so it's real easy for me. And like in a minute, probably less than a minute, I'm in the zone. So it comes really easily to me because I'm already kind of in that state anyway. And I wouldn't recommend falling or laying down, because you'll fall asleep. You'll still get the benefits. But to me, meditation, if you just either prayer or meditation, however you choose to do it, walk by the beach, you're connecting with the divine for that day. And you're saying, I'm here. I want to have a relationship with you. Help me. And according to the word, anyway, you're loved so much unconditionally by the universe that you're going to get anything you can ask for if you can just get your head wrapped around that and believe it. Dare to believe it. Try to believe it. And that's all you need, is just that little mustard seed. And doors start opening. You may forget about it and you may even get mad, but what you meditate on, I think, is going to be what comes to you the fastest, like what you share while you're in that moment with him. So I do a lot of quantum jumping ones and stuff,
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, because I'm ready to get better.
Yes, it's so fascinating. And I just find And cannabis, for so many people, it just enhances everything else around you. It enhances meditation. It enhances your walk on the beach. It's just one of those special things that makes all of the good things in life even better.
Yeah. And if you're good at sitting down and focusing and having that routine, you'll see some astounding results. Because if I can just dabble and be like, okay, I'm stressed out, I need to meditate. That's usually when I do it. But if I can get results with just every now and then inconsistency, you can definitely, if you can sit down for 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day in the beginning and just consider it self-love. I have to do this because I have to play by the laws of the universe. I have to love myself more than everything else that's going on. Make this time. And then I've even found luck with like, okay, today I'm going to make X amount of dollars. I'm going to be in this station at work because I have two jobs. And I work at Rainforest on the beach, actually, which is kind of cool.
Oh,
That's
it's
really,
so nice.
really close to bartending on the beach, which
Yes.
is another wish. So,
Ah,
yeah.
perfect.
But anyways, I will set my intentions before I go to work. And I swear to God, I'll be in that station. And if I'm in the mood to work hard, I'll be like, I want this station and I want to make X amount of dollar after tip out. It's weird, you guys, when you get good
Ah,
at it, it really even works in the moment. And that's what the cool thing is once you get to be friends with your mind, and your mind, the thoughts aren't bombarding you anymore.
ah.
You can have the space to dream for yourself, basically, without all that stress, just not
Yes, it's
letting
like
up.
clarity. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
and
a
with
clarity.
cannabis, I think you're a level above,
Yeah.
literally a dimension above everybody else. You can perceive things that other people don't see, and then I mean, it's just wild. I think you're in that guidance zone, I mean, and I think that's part of the reason that it's been illegal for a very long time. Is it
I
very
agree. Yes.
empowering?
Yes. I mean, they don't want people to feel
Mhm.
amazing. They need people to feel terrible to feed into the system. They don't want people to
Mhm.
make independent thoughts for themselves and feel empowered to take care of themselves. They want them to buy their pharmaceuticals and everything else. And it's so
Yeah.
unfortunate that we are keeping this from people because it's life changing. It's amazing.
Hmm. And I think people who are like, I have a friend in Ohio who's scared, excuse me, to try it for her child who has autism. And
Yeah.
I said, oh my gosh, all of the crazy stuff you've ever done, and you don't want to try and help your child, like, calm down, because she gets so hyper that bad things happen. And I can't believe this. She just wasn't ready to expand into that. And I'm like, you could have a lot of relief, with her calming herself down.
Yeah.
And she was striking herself and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she
Absolutely.
won't even try it. And I'm like, it has the programming gone that deep so that people won't even give it a try,
Yeah.
and it's like you
Yeah.
could have so much relief and not be so miserable. You know how folks used to have martinis when they came in from work in the 50s?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you can have partake of, if it's legal where you are,
Yeah.
and then that'll take you right in, and you won't have any like blackouts or nothing detrimental. I don't drink anymore because I don't want to feel horrible the next day. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I don't need that. I have what I need, that lightens my mood and it doesn't do horrible things to my body. I had a friend he had to get a whole new kidney and a whole new, what was it? Something else, a liver. And I used the tuning forks and cheered for him and followed him Facebook, and they got everything fixed. But that's what happens when you overdrink. He ruined his liver, he ruined his kidneys, or one of them had to get them completely replaced. You can't just drink forever. Your body will run out.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have to find a calming option that,
Yeah.
doesn't make us get DUIs or, you know, do horrible things, unspeakable things. I have beliefs about spirits being called spirits too. So I just don't like drinking like I used to. So
Right. Yeah. Now, if you're comfortable talking about it, do you have any advice for someone who may have been an alcoholic or an addict and is struggling with how does cannabis fit into the puzzle? Because we're brainwashed to believe that cannabis is part of the problem when in so many cases, it's part of the solution.
well, you nailed it, because I entered myself into recovery in 2005, and um, I was polysubstance. I did anything. And I think what the underlying issue is people are scared to deal with those emotions. But ultimately, if you don't let these emotions out, they're going to poison your body. I think they're going to manifest as cancer or a brain tumor or heart attack because you have a broken heart, or you're over drinking, so you lose a kidney. Like something is going wrong in the body somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think it's of an emotional source or a spiritual source. And when you start leaning into that direction of wanting to heal, you're probably going to want to make friends with God or the universe, because I went out there for 30 years. I was Christian when I was growing up and didn't really realize the importance of taking prayer with me. So for 30 years, I entered a relationship with a gentleman who was not of God or church or whatever. And then over 30 years, not with the same person, but that's what started it. I, couldn't think for myself. I was out there fighting against the dark forces that want to keep us from succeeding. Cause I do believe there's a force that wants to, try to resist or whatever, what's going on the planet right now. I think that people are praying and they're bringing a lot of light and love in, and that there's a lot of stuff happening because of that. But anyways, bring me back. What was the question?
Any advice for someone who might be a recovering addict who feels
See?
nervous about...
I'm so sorry. My ADD took over.
I love it. I will listen.
Yeah. So I think that you guys should make friends with that higher power, first of all, in your own way. It doesn't have to be formal. And I think that you should absolutely just maybe ease your way into it. And I would have, if you're in a place where it's medically accepted and legal, I would go there to the dispensary and have someone teach you through that process. They're the specialists in knowing the strains. This one's for anxiety. This one's for insomnia. This one's for your autistic child, or whatever. They're the people who used to be called potheads are now the knowledge holders of all the strains. They've been studying it forever. Now who's going to help fix us? Who's going to help? I think cannabis is going to open a door to healing that is profound once combined with mental health therapy and spiritual help. I think you need to treat the mental and the energetic body and the physical body, and then we can get it all back into balance. And that's why I'm into tuning forks, because I think you can balance your chakras and your meridians and deal with your spiritual stuff and get all that toxic stuff out from traumas in your childhood. Yeah. And you can quit manifesting from that vibration. I feel like it's a frequency. You're still that hurt person. Like I have issues from childhood, but I have went into the darkness and faced all of that and understood. I live with a mental health therapist, by the way, who's amazing, and he has helped me. I wish for a complete healing, and he's got a master's degree. He's also a minister. So
oh my gosh, it's like perfect for you. It's like all the things.
I know, it came into being. I couldn't even believe it myself, and he has helped me search every crack and corner. This is why you did this, is because of your dad. Your dad taught you this. Now if you erase that belief system, you can be something instead of being nothing, because that's kind of the stuff I got back then. And so now I'm replacing those. And I think cannabis if you take cannabis and you work with positive people around you to rebuild you, I believe in neuroplasty, which I know it's a thing, but I think it'll help accelerate it, because every cell talks to every cell all day anyway. And when you connect them with cannabis, I think electricity and thoughts can travel faster, more intuitively. I think you're connecting both sides of the brain instead of just being I'm really heavily right brain, but I get lessons in the left brain, like paperwork and stuff, and so I can get better at those things. But cannabis will help you be flexible enough to say, you know what, I got taxes to do today, and I hate paperwork because I can't focus very long, but I'll just take it in bites. It's not that I can't do it. If I have my Delta 8, I'm like, you can do this, break it down into little quantum bits, and then attack it. So that's how I have to look at my book too. So, there's just so many things you can do to hack yourself and catch yourself and break habits. And that's what has happened to me. I started, listening to those little things like, well, you do it that way. Well, just turn it around and beat yourself to the point where you have to do that. I can get ahead of myself, and I can think that way when I'm doing the cannabis,
Yes.
because
Yep.
I'm expanded thinking. I've got new ideas. My creativity is insane. If I could just
Yes.
act on it.
Yes. So many people say they unlock their creativity that they have not explored in a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I think if you take, say, someone who partakes and they direct a movie, and then you take someone who doesn't,
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
they're really trying to help you improve and see things and plant seeds in your consciousness to try and trigger you. You can do better. You can laugh
Yeah.
more. You can have greater creativity.
Yeah.
But I just think
Absolutely.
it's a whole new culture unfolding, and I'm super excited. So
It's so exciting to be a part of it. And I want to
Yay.
ask you one question, if it's okay with you. For anybody who's listening in the audience who might be diagnosed with ADHD or ADD, what has your experience been like with cannabis? Is it helpful? Is it harmful? What is it? I know it's different for everybody, but in your experience, how has it been?
I think it's been great. After I had some negative experiences with it, with some bad people, and then I tried it in a positive environment.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, this is my cheeks hurt from laughing. Oh my gosh. And
So
laughter is
different.
like the best therapy.
Yeah.
So you could put anything wacky on and watch it, and it's better than therapy. You're already in a state of joy. Like you need,
Yeah.
like I think it helps people pursue joy more
Yeah.
than
Absolutely.
instead of following. It makes you discern between, I don't want that situation, I want this situation,
Yeah.
and it helps you think through. But ADD is a super big challenge, because now the one thing is, it seems like I have to really focus on where I was in a conversation,
Yeah.
especially when I'm like using something like a
Hmm.
cannabis product, because I'm like, okay, now not to talk too long and try to think in small sentences, because
Yeah.
if
Yep.
I get into a story, then I get out there and I forgot what my point was.
Yes.
And ADD is a challenge like that all the time. Some things, if we're made this way, you just can't do anything about it. You have to learn to live with it. And
Yeah.
the best thing that I've ever learned is, if you fall, you got to get back up. And you get
Yeah.
really good at that when you have ADHD. And people look at you like they are saying, dang, man, you really screwed that up. I'm like, no, I'm just going to keep on going. You could tell the difference between someone who's not forgiven themselves for making mistakes, and me, who just keeps rolling no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm pretty much a Capricorn, determined. Now that I've gotten through this like challenge period of the last 2 years, like my creativity, I'm in a safe environment. My consciousness
Yeah.
is open back up from survival mode, which is like I can't think about anything but surviving, into, oh my gosh, I can be anything I freaking want now. It's like,
Oh,
you, even with ADHD, you can write a book.
I am so
So
proud of you. And as we wrap up this interview, I would love to talk about your book. We're going to get there. I'm going to start with our 4 questions I ask everybody. Are you ready?
am I ready? Yeah.
All right. Number
Okay.
1, to date in your life, what are you most proud of?
I guess it would have to be the decision to leave Ohio. Yeah, it was the best thing I ever did. If you have someplace that your heart is aching to move to, it's going to heal you. And that's why your soul is trying to get you. Listen, you need to be by the beach. Listen, you need to be by the mountains. That essence is what you're looking for, is that peace. You're searching for peace, and you don't realize it, because your life's like, mine was nuts, like 12 hours a day on Vyvanse, the stimulant that I was taking. It went nuts. And now I've learned to slow down. So I think that's really important,
Uh,
to honor that self thing in yourself, to move and do it.
it's beautiful. I mean, look where it's taken you, living your best life by the beach. It's so exciting.
I'm one
No,
block off the beach in an apartment right now. But when I got here and I was doing grocery deliveries, I was walking on the stairs of those beach houses that I have on my vision board. So I'm closer than I've ever
that is
been.
so, that is as close as you need to be. I mean, you can
Yes.
walk there. That's it. You're there. It's
Uh-huh.
amazing. And
Yeah.
I love that it came true for you. You put it on a vision board. People talk about it, but you really did it, and it really came
Uh-huh.
true. And I'm so happy for you.
When you do it, you'll be excited because it started happening like I did a short-term one and that was a long-term one. And I did a short-term one. The short-term one started cranking. That's what I was manifesting
So
from is that
exciting.
it's insane. And do a journal too, because I did a manifestation journal and my car got paid off and everything.
That
It
is
was crazy.
amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, you ask for what you want in this world and you might just get it.
yeah. And the best thing is a new person because they'll put it out there and they won't even care. And then it'll come back and I'll be like, oh my God, that worked. And then you're hooked.
Hooked. I
So,
mean, absolutely. Now, it
yeah.
brings us to our next question. What do you think your life would look like if you never found cannabis?
Well, I'm going to be honest. The first thought that came, dead. I think I would be dead because when I left Ohio, my blood pressure was 160 over like 110. And that's really bad. And I'm just going to say it, it's going to be in the book. I think I almost had a nervous breakdown when I got to Texas because those panic attacks accumulated. I was still taking stimulants and I just had a really horrible experience. And then when I got out of that, and I started using the Delta 8 because, of course, I didn't. That's what happened when I wasn't doing cannabis. See, and I was
Yeah.
taking like stimulants
Yeah.
because when I drove to Texas, I just took like 2 or 3 in a row, and I drove all the way through to Texas. It's insane, and
Yeah.
that's what kind of shape my mind was in. And then I got here and I found Delta 8, and I was able to like lean back a little bit and not be like scared for my life anymore. And it when you go that far down into like mental health, like being that scary,
Yeah.
like it doesn't pass quickly. It takes time, and you have to be very proactive. Like it's like climbing a wall. You just have to keep plugging. And
Yeah.
that's why I said, I don't think I could have survived if I didn't have cannabis to like calm my nerves and stuff. I think that those stimulants would have took me over the edge and
Yeah.
I could have had a heart attack.
Yeah.
So I think that happened for a reason. When I got to Texas, I had to go off the stimulants because the public health system here does not give out no opiates or stimulants at all. So you have to get a private practitioner for that. So
Interesting.
it keeps it out of people's hands. So they don't. In Ohio, there was a horrible opiate addiction problem going on, probably still is, but because they were writing out scripts so freely.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful that I didn't die. That's kind of how I feel about that.
I am too.
So
It's beautiful. And I mean, I'm so
yeah.
glad that this plant came to you. It
Mhm.
saved your life. It's amazing. And I'm so
It's
happy
been
for you.
99% of the reason I'm where I'm at right now is to gain my own thinking back,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you have to be gentle. You don't realize how gentle, how delicate life is until you are on the edge of losing it.
Yeah.
And when you're at the point, I was homeless for a couple of weeks too. And I couldn't believe how I felt then, how close to like, suicidal thinking and stuff.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, I'm in a state by myself. My parents are passed. I have no siblings. I don't have kids and I'm homeless and I've wrecked my car. What do I do? Like,
Right.
and then the minister shows up and I moved to Houston. So it's going to all be in that book, but it's very exciting because if you guys need mental health care, I can plug him. He's amazing and he'll help everybody. I mean, he's just so tremendous and such a caring, like a Mr. Rogers.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you found him. He found you. The universe put you together.
It's definitely spiritual because I had like 2 ministers in my family and stuff. And I'm like, I think I should be back to Christianity more than I think some of the part of my book is going to be from witchcraft into Christianity again. Because when I was out there with him and I found out about spiritual things and I put some things in motion and they worked. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, that got me out of there. But now you have to give all that back and come back to, you can't serve 2 masters. That's why I quit doing the cards. Right. And I was like, I feel like I'm opening portals and stuff, and I don't want to support that anymore.
Right.
I want to help people realize not to do it.
Yes.
You've got it all in here. Everything's in here. So, but anyways, like, I just want to help people and tell them how scary that is and not to do that. So, and it's very hard to come out of. So
So our
Yeah.
next question, it kind of fits in. If you could sit down with yourself 10, 20, 30 years ago and give yourself a piece of advice related to cannabis, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Probably not to listen to anybody else, to trust myself. Excuse me. And like if you're talking about going back to the past, is that what you're saying? Or
Yeah.
okay. Well, 30 years ago, I would have probably, yeah, I could have probably been a lot better off smoking, because I was an addict for 14 years. And I think that would have really helped me in my 20s. And I'm 50 now. So I dealt with all of that addiction for 14 years because I wouldn't talk about all the stuff that that had happened to me in childhood. It was like a bomb getting ready to go off. So, and then like 20 years, I would have been like, yeah, you still got some work to do. I think I would have been like, I was in hair school, and that when I went to hair school was when I rediscovered cannabis, and we started powwowing again, and all this good stuff came out of it. And I was like, this can't be a bad thing. You know, my ex made it seem bad, and the person I was with also against it again. But I was like, how come when I have the most clarity and comfort, these guys don't want me to do it, you know? But then I pushed past that. And then now 10 years ago, I'd say you should have done it sooner. Because 10 years ago, I was dabbling pretty heavily and thinking, still fighting with the person next to me over my own mental health. So I would say ease your way into it, get educated first, especially with edibles, and learn the different strains and fix your life. You know, there's a strain for for creativity, for sleeping. You can use cannabis in the morning in your coffee now, is what I heard. Like California has coffee pods. You can literally, you can incorporate it into your life in such a discreet way. No one even has to know that you're doing it. You know, I've been doing Delta 8 for a year and a half at the jobs I'm doing. And if I didn't have it, I would have been still timid and scared of people. Like I have to be able to say, hey guys, how you doing today? Welcome to Rainforest. You know, I have to be, I get to be the experience that I had when I was a kid for those people. So I want to be the happiest person when I walk up to that table. They're blown away. Like, I'll take a picture for you guys. Let me know. Restrooms that way. Don't walk in a kitchen. You know, we'll laugh at you. I want to make people laugh. And I can't get to that elevation without cannabis. You know, it just brings out, you can tell everybody else is just kind of robots in motion, you know. And I found the slower I go and the more grounded I am with my people. You remember horror movies where like the serial killer would just walk and then the other person would like panic and then they would just catch up to them. It's more grounded, and I get the results I want when I go slower with my people. And I think people around me are like, why isn't she freaking out? Why isn't she, you know, having a heart attack because she just got double set? You know, I'm like, I just have my ways to communicate with people and they trust me. And then I go do what I'm supposed to do in my own time. They know it takes me 5 minutes to go get a drink. You know, it just makes my whole shift go smoother, you know? And now that I prayed myself into a job with the fair trade, and I'm like, now I have literally on this wall, a wholesale license. I'm going to start a fair trade on Facebook, you know? So if anyone's looking to help me out, I'm looking to make my first order, and my credits are really horrible. So I'm literally making bracelets so I can fund my first order on fair trade so I can help people in other countries. Either that or I'm going to do edibles with Delta 8. So I'm like seriously at this big crossroads right now.
I'm so excited. I'll leave the link to your page so that everybody can find you and support you. And that leads us to our last question. And I want you to talk about your book. But the last question is, if you could be remembered for one thing in the cannabis space, what would it be?
I think honestly, the thought that just came in was just setting people free. You know, set your mind free and give your mental health back to you. Don't let it lay in the hands of people who judge you for doing it. There's too many ways to help yourself discreetly now. You know, you can go, don't feel guilty about maybe going to work the first time after drinking that cup of coffee, because after you see your performance, if you can get past everybody thinks I'm high, you know, don't be like that. Do the proper strain, you know. And you go in and get yourself acclimated. Go to the grocery store. Go do this. I'm not saying to go drive. ride with
Right. Yeah.
people, be safe and explore your abilities on it. And you'll find that they are way more enhanced, way more colorful. I mean, what comes out of my mouth at those tables now shocks me. I'm like, oh my God, where'd that come from? Like,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
but it was really funny,
Yes. Yeah.
and people love it. And I'm like, how could you take that from me? How could you take
Right.
that kind of joy? People sitting around laughing in the proper environment. It's time to laugh, and in that in itself, if you can just engage and releasing, I mean, it's a conscious choice to release the past. You can live in this present moment, hanging out with your friends, doing what you do every day, and just coming home and living a simple life and flipping on some music and then going to bed when you're ready to go. Life can be so simple.
Yeah.
And then we've made it complicated, and it's like, if you can
Yes.
shut out all those voices that say, I don't think you should do that. And then your own voice will prevent you from getting your own relief. And if it keeps, to me, if your intuition repeats over and over, that means do it. You should be doing it, and we're going to beat down your door until you do it, because even though we're scared, that's what's going to take us to the next level, I think. So doing this was like, I don't do Zoom. I'm scared to death of Zoom,
I'm
and
so glad you did it with me. Thank you for being brave. I know it's always hard to get on because you're like, what did I just get myself into? What is it going to be like? So thank you so much for having the bravery to come here and talk
it was
with
hard.
me.
I was like, oh, I don't know if I
I
can do
know. Oh, but I think that people are going to listen to this interview and get so much from it. And they're going to eventually want to be like, I want to be like Missy. I want to see the better side of life. I want to see what the plant can give to me. So I'm so thankful that you've shared everything with us today.
Yeah. And when you give out my info or whatever, just people, please feel free to reach out to me, because I was where you are in a scary place, or maybe not where you want to be, whatever it is, dissatisfied is less than joy. So, reach out to me with questions. I'm the kind of person, I used to bartend. You can talk to me right over the bar about anything, and that's how I want my book to read, is so people feel comfortable connecting with me,
Tell us a little bit about your book and what you're working on and what you hope for it to be.
Okay, this is funny because I've been wanting to write a book since I went to Toronto for a Hay House Writers Workshop convention, and we learned how to write book proposals there. So I have a book proposal sitting in my Google Drive for like 8 years now, waiting for me to write that book. But I have been doing the J.K. Rowling thing. Like, I'm so busy with working that I'll like write a complete memory down, and I'll put it, I have a little bag, I put it like a shoebox thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a bag, and I put all of those pieces, like I might have 5 or 6 pieces. I don't want to forget to put this in, and that's the stage it's in right now, because I don't want to write the one that's in there anymore. I want to write the one that has all this in it. And I'm like, I have so many stories. I don't want to forget this story. I don't want to forget this story. And I'm like waiting for that time and space to open up. I wrote my book proposal in 16 days before it was due, because I didn't have time off from the warehouse where I was at. I had 16 days off, and I wrote that book, and I wrote the whole 66 pages that just hammered out. But
look at you. Congratulations.
And I didn't win that contest, but they give you a list of people who like publishing houses that will give you like a chance. You can send in your proposal without an agent.
That's a huge connection.
Yes. So I'm like, what are you doing? You have your own answer right here, just get on it. So that's what I'm doing. That's what the stage it's in. And I want to self-publish and have it out by the end of the year. Even if it's just ebook, I don't care. I want to release it on my birthday. So
oh my gosh. We are here to support you when it's ready. Let us know. I'll put it in the show notes so everybody can get to know your story. Thank you for sharing a piece of it with us here today. I appreciate it so much. Do you have any
you're super sweet.
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you. Do you have any last words for our audience before we say goodbye today?
No, I just think you're a big blessing. And I'm so grateful that I found you, because you gave me some extra hints in that, the recipe and stuff. I said, oh, if I hadn't done that, I would have wasted everything, because I had some preconceived notions. And I'm like, thank God there is somebody out there who can teach me how to do it. And then, I can go to the next level when everything gets legalized, So I'm like, it's going to happen, you guys. Don't give up. Just keep believing. So
Yes.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad.
that's
And then
it.
the plant brought us together, and here we are having this conversation. And hopefully it reaches the right ears of whoever is listening today and hearing your story and
Yeah.
feeling inspired to give cannabis a try.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Don't let anything scare you.
Oh, thank you so much, Missy. I really,
Yeah.
really enjoyed our conversation today.
Yeah, me too. Did you want me to leave a website real quick?
Yes, please share your, yes, absolutely.
Well, right now I'm just on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Missy Conley 1972. And then my Facebook is Missy S. Conley. It's
Perfect.
Conley. You'll see it probably on there.
I'll
But
link it in the show notes so whoever's listening can just click right
perfect.
there and get right on over to you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank
inviting me.
you.
Congratulations! You've finished another episode of the Well with Cannabis podcast and are one step closer to discovering how you too can live well with cannabis. Thank you for listening in today. We hope this episode has been a helpful and informative one. Please visit EmilyKyleNutrition.com for more information on today's show notes, guest information, recipes, and other resources. If you want more support and encouragement on your cannabis journey, please consider joining the private Well with Cannabis community. In this group, you can connect with like-minded individuals focused on improving their health and wellness through cannabis. Join the group today to continue your journey of wellness together at EmilyKyleNutrition.com.